Welcome to football's Play to Win, the fastest 45 minutes on TV.
Today's show is being brought to you by Ford, Mellow Mushroom, and Georgia Lottery. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning and welcome to football's Play to Win. I'm Bob Neal and I'm joined by former Falcon greats Chuck Smith and Bob Whitfield, who are clowns too. And Nikki Williams will be joining us a little bit later in the show. Welcome to football's Play to Win. You guys are raring to go.
Yeah, you know, it's my boy right here. We go old school. We go to wrestling, you know, in our draws back when we was 1992 when we was rookies. Old school.
Okay, we've got big games to talk about, but first you have a big game that was even bigger than the Falcons game.
Yep, tonight at the Benz, North Gwinnett takes on Colquitt County, so I'm excited about that. My son's, he's on that team, and you know, hopefully they'll bring home the first state championship to North Gwinnett. But everybody in Sewanee, let's rally up at the Benz and welcome to all the families that are going to be at the Benz today, you know, Saturday.
I can tell there's a little edge with you this morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's state championship football.
Yep.
That's
Marist versus Blessed Trinity. My nephew, Kyle Hamilton, he is a Marist safety, receiver, punt return. He does everything for that school, and they're going for a rematch in that game because they beat Blessed Trinity early on in the year, and this will be a big game, 4:30 state championship.
So you guys are jacked up on this.
Yeah, so Bob's team plays before, you know, then what was that, 4A?
It's one of them A's.
One of them A's.
Well, we're 7A, so we're 7A. Let's go, pound your chest. Let's go.
Don't act like you're Alabama and this is like, a, you know what I'm saying, little Appalachian State.
Well, the team we're playing against has
we're off and rolling.
We're off and rolling.
All right, Falcons game. How big was this win?
If it was big, Bob, I would measure by it as Stone Mountain, that kind of big. Because look, the Falcons needed this game. And the Atlanta Falcons have competed and hadn't kind of got the results they wanted. But this game, they knock off New Orleans, and what it does, it really helps them because you got to think that Carolina, they're playing against Minnesota. Yeah. So if Minnesota knocks off Carolina, the Falcons have really gained an edge when it comes to the playoffs and trying to get in that 6th seed.
No, definitely gaining an edge to get to the playoffs. But what it was big for when quarterback plays bad and your defense plays well, and it was a big testament to what the defense did physically. Hitting guys, knocking them out the game. Yeah. You heard Chris Collinsworth talk a lot in that broadcast about Shazier from Pittsburgh, who was put out of a vicious, tackle. He's now in surgery and, he's coming through all of that. But you saw some major collisions that two guys from the Saints, Chuck's good friend Kamara, was knocked out of the game early on from a vicious
Bob,
hit.
but I call that collateral damage. Look, Deion Jones was coming, and the game moved so fast, and what happened is he just got knocked out. I mean, it wasn't like he tried to spear him, Bob, but what happens is the number 2 player is not number 1. What I'm meaning is when you get to the second player, he's not the starter. So instead of having Ingram and Kamara, they ended up having just Ingram. Right. So that changed the way the Saints could, basically put together their offense. So the number 2 ain't number 1. If you ain't got but 1, you ain't got 2. It gave the Falcons an advantage.
I want to ask you guys about Matt Ryan's performance.
Well, I look at it like this. If your quarterback can make that many mistakes, but when your defense still give you an opportunity to come back and put yourself ahead, you had a good game, Matt Ryan, that you can still come back in the fourth quarter to come back and put them up by 3. That's a good game after throwing 3 interceptions early on to keep the composure. So it's one of those things that even in a bad game, like you say, a loss can be good, bad game even good.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about some other big matchups this weekend in our NFL report. You're watching Football's Play to Win.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
Cratchit, it's time for the office secret center. Pick a name. Go on. Who'd you get?
Well, I got you, sir.
Oh, fancy that. I got you. Here's a holiday scratcher. Could be worth millions.
Oh, I'd be truly grateful, sir.
I want you to have it. No, I don't. Oh, good gracious. Sorry, this is very hard for me. I'll try again. Okay. No, I failed myself.
It's the gift that's almost too good to give. Spread cheer with holiday scratchers from the Georgia Lottery.
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi in theaters December 15th.
Today's NFL Report is brought to you by Nally Ford, Sandy Springs. The car you want, the name you trust. It has to be Nally Ford, Sandy Springs.
It's the NFL Report brought to you by Nally Ford. Nikki, welcome back.
Hey,
Welcome.
thanks for having me back. You know, I haven't been fired. It's been like an entire season. It feels good. I didn't have a speech prepared.
We're all on
Glad
week
you
to
made
week.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all on week-to-week contracts.
That's right.
Okay.
United.
All right, we're going to talk NFL, and we're going to start with the Eagles and the Rams, Chuck Smith.
Well, I love the Eagles and I love the Rams, two teams that have really, stepped at the forefront in the National Football League. Think about the Eagles. I mean, their fans are loving them right now. They got an awesome quarterback, Carson Wentz, that's, has a great chance to win the MVP. The Rams do what they do. Aaron Donald dominant on the defensive side. These two teams will be teams to reckon with when it comes playoff time.
All right, people in Atlanta always concerned about the Panthers. Panthers have the Vikings, Bob Whitfield.
Yeah, we saw what the Vikings can do to a team, what they did to Atlanta. And what you have is a Mike Zimmerman coach team. Is that his name, Zimmerman?
That's right.
Zimmerman?
Yeah. Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer.
There you go.
Zimmer's the man then, because
right.
he has that defense buzzing around, safeties doing all kind of crazy stuff, taking away your best receiver. And Cam Newton is relegated to running the ball at quarterback to get Carolina back into the hunt for the playoffs. But look for Case Keenum. He has the AEE. You know what the AEE is, Chuck?
What is it?
You know what I'm saying? Ability, efficiency, and he's very effective.
He had to do nothing last week.
He just had to keep 2
He
touchdowns.
had to do nothing.
Just
Down
manage
to
the
the
game.
AEE. Yeah,
Against the Falcons, he didn't do nothing. Put up 14.
That's enough when you got a good defense.
Yeah, that's true.
Ability,
gotta have
efficiency,
more, though.
effectiveness.
He got to have more.
You got the AEE in school.
AEE.
Okay, Nikki, you want to talk about the Seahawks and the Jaguars?
I want to tell the Seahawks fans to go ahead and calm down because the Seahawks and the Jags, they're real similar. And you know what? Defensively, the Jags are statistically a little bit better. They've allowed the fewest points in the league, 178. Now remember, former Jags head coach Gus Bradley, he was the defensive coordinator over at Seattle. So stylistically, they've got some parallels.
They do?
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson, Blake Bortles?
Same. Same-sies.
Okay.
Watch
You
out,
gonna be
Eli.
all right?
Just saying. Blake Bortles is absolutely atrocious. If he didn't have a
Did you
defense
just
behind
call
him.
him garbage?
No, I call atrocious is different.
Atrocious.
Okay.
Garbage is a little lower than atrocious.
It's Spanish
You know
for
what I'm saying?
it's garbage with a perm.
Garbage is not reclaimable.
Garbage in the meat.
Okay. We'll have a definition session with you later. Ravens and Steelers, Bob Whitfield.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
that's
That's a
a
good one.
heavyweight bout. That's like head hunter's battle.
Yeah,
and what you
right.
have in that battle is NFL football players are hard-headed. They will try to kill each other from week to week. And what Pittsburgh will miss is Juju Smith-Schuster, because
However you say it, we'll buy it.
How do you say it? Juju Smith-Schuster, he's out the game this week. USC remembers that guy. Juju Smith is out the game, but he laid a hard hit. Say it 3 times fast. Juju Smith-Schuster.
You're really entertaining,
Bless you.
Nikki.
Thank you.
Nikki, you're very happy with his
I am,
work on
especially when they're like, NFL players are so hard-headed. Yeah, y'all are.
All right, it's time for Jeffrey's picks. He's not with us, and playing the role of Jeffrey today is Bob Whitfield.
Look at Chuck. Look at that shine in his beard. What we have here is Minnesota. Minnesota going against Carolina, and we have, I don't know what this plus and minus stuff is. Minnesota minus 2.5. That means they get the points.
That's what you used to gamble.
And what we have is Seattle, Jacksonville. Seattle plus 3. We're going with Seattle. There you have it. Jeffrey's
How many times we
picks.
used to go to Vegas? You can gamble.
Never on sports, buddy.
Never on sports.
Never on
Right.
sports. Okay.
Never.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment with fantasy football. You stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
It's 4 a.m., and the other breakfast guys are still sleeping. But the Hardee's biscuit baker just got to work, mixing buttermilk, flour, butter, hand-kneading, rolling, and cutting our biscuits from scratch. The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit for just $1.69, only at Hardee's.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
During the year-end sales event at Nally Ford, get 0% APR for 72 months, plus $1,000 in Ford credit bonus cash on select 2017 models.
Hey y'all, we're Low Cash and we love Nally Ford and NallyFord.com. It has to be Nally Ford Sandy Springs.
Let's get the big guy in place.
The Ford year-end sales event is here.
I can guide you in.
No thanks, Santa. I got this.
Hey, it looks a little tight. Perfect fit. Santa needs an F-150.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Hurry in for 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
At Hardee's, we call them made-from-scratch biscuits because made by a biscuit maker who shows up at 4 a.m. to hand mix, knead, roll, and cut them and then does it again every 15 minutes, biscuits is way less catchy. The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit for just $1.69, only at Hardee's.
Today's NFL Fantasy Report is being brought to you by Haviland Express Lube, driven to perform, so our customers and their vehicles can too.
All right, it's time for the Fantasy Report, brought to you by Haviland and Adam Brown. We're going to talk about fantasy football playoffs.
We got fantasy football playoffs starting this week, and it's really cool because over the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about players that you can possibly pick up in your leagues that can help you go from, a 3-point underdog to a 3-point favorite. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Juju Smith-Schuster.
Okay.
That's hard to say. But Juju Smith-Schuster suspended this week for that hit on Vontaze Burfict Monday night. But Martavius Bryant's still there. He's going to pick up the slack for him. I like him a lot this week. And look for Jesse James also, because Jesse James is a tight end that could pick up some good fantasy points with Smith-Schuster out. Roethlisberger will throw underneath. But there's another guy that I really like if you need a quarterback. And that quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, since he's been traded from New England, is really doing a nice job learning that offense, that Shanahan offense. Put up nice numbers last week. Look for him to continue to put up nice numbers during this fantasy football playoff season. Look for him to have over 20 points the next couple of weeks. Okay. So he could be one of those guys that could be a success story for you in the playoffs. But then we're talking about a guy that I love, and you and I were talking about this earlier, Josh Gordon.
Yep.
Who does he remind you of?
He reminds Jerry Rice, comes to mind. I don't know if he's that great, but he reminds me of a Jerry Rice type. Great hands.
Great hands, size, speed.
Right.
The agility that he has. If he can keep his off-field troubles off the field and stay on the field, this guy is a player for the next 10 seasons in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns are going to be very happy with him and Coleman on each side. All they need is a quarterback, and Alex Smith's going to be available.
Right.
Look for Alex Smith also. He had a bad week last week. Look for him to have a bounce-back week this week. But Josh Gordon is a guy that I love. If you can get him in a fantasy league or a weekly fantasy league, grab him up. He is that kind of player. Hugh Jackson, to save his job, needs to get him the ball 12 times a game.
All right, great job. Adam Brown talking about your fantasy teams. Listen to him, you'll do well.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn-out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Lube Monday through Thursday, mention Football's Play to Win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi in theaters December 15th.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. Today we'll discuss the college football playoffs, evaluate the Falcons' big win, and tell you how to pick this weekend's winners. That's next on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, Haviland Express Lube, and Nally Ford Sandy Springs. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Game Analysis with Nikki Williams, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Ed Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalage, and your host, Atlanta sports legend Bob Neal. Today's Atlanta Falcons Report is brought to you by Ford F-150, the official truck of the NFL.
Welcome to the show with Bob and Chuck. Nikki will join us a little bit later. Big win. How big for the Falcons?
Really big. I think this sets the Falcons up for a great run. The Falcons just want a chance, right, Bob? I mean, you just want a chance to get in the dance, right? Have
opportunity.
A chance to get in the playoffs.
You know, opportunity is that it's right in front of you when you can just really take hold of what you're trying to do with your NFC South rivals. And what you have is the Saints, again, Tampa's coming, Carolina. So it's like you make your bed, you got to lay in it, and they have a nice little mattress pad, and it's comfort fitting for them to win out.
Got a comfort, everything on that.
Everything.
Right. I want to get some good takes and bad takes. First of all, good takes from the game.
All right, good. Devontae Freeman ran the ball like a maniac, Bob. I mean, he ran it. The offensive line was, what you want. They were opening holes. Ben Garland stepped up big, filling in for the Falcons. But Devontae Freeman did an excellent job of finding the holes, sneaking through. One of the best spots for the Falcons in this game.
Okay, good takes.
Oh, that was a great take, and that defense played very well, exceptionally well. And what they did was they changed what New Orleans can do. After you knock out key players, that defense really took the tone, the machoism, the hard grit of the team, the Dirty Bird gang. They really showed it up.
Dirty Bird gang.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dirty Bird gang.
I like that. I like that. Take it back to the old school.
That's always
I like
worked.
that, y'all.
And they played like a gang.
Okay.
They played very, very, very well.
All right, how about the bad? Was there any bad?
You gonna start it out? You had a lot of bad a minute ago.
Well, you know what the bad is, as I see it, is that you have this high expectation of the Falcons.
You do.
The expectation is so high that you want to see the offense execute beyond, anything you could imagine, 30, 40 points a game. That's not happening this year. The chemistry with Sarkisian, he made adjustments in the second half. You can even hear Chris Collinsworth talk about it. The trips formation, motioning the trips, which was a great adjustment by the Falcons to take advantage of the secondary of New Orleans, which did well in man-to-man. But what you have is that adjustment has to be made again down the week, and then you got to play Carolina with the same adjustment. So the offense got to get back to its high-flying ways.
How about your bad takes?
The turnover battle. The Falcons haven't been on the plus side in a long time, and New Orleans won the turnover battle, right? So the Falcons have to get turnovers to give the offense a short field. And everybody's complaining about the Falcons' ability to score. If you give them a short field, like New Orleans did, New Orleans got 2 turnovers in their plus territory, so it made it easier for them to get 14 points. So the Falcons have to start creating turnovers. That's really important if they're going to go far into the playoffs or even get into the playoffs.
It's a cliche about the defense helps the offense and vice versa, but it's a cliche because it's true.
It is true. And the Falcons, the defense did well. Think about it in the end of the game. Deion Jones basically won the game with a great interception. Defense stands up.
Okay, we come back. We'll preview the Bulldogs game with Oklahoma and take a look at some of the awards the team has brought home. Next on Play to Win.
Let's get the big guy in place.
The Ford year-end sales event is here.
I can guide you in. No thanks, Santa. I got this. It looks a little tight. Perfect fit. Santa needs an F-150.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Hurry in for 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
Get a steak. Don't stop there. Get it with lobster. Get a steak topped with crab cake. Eat like you own the place, because tonight you do. Get it now. Longhorn's Turf and Surf, the new filet and citrus grilled lobster tail, the new crab cake filet, or Flo's filet and lobster tail. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
Cratchit, it's time for the office secret center. Pick a name. Go on. Who'd you get?
Well, I got you, sir.
Oh, fancy that. I got you. Here's a holiday scratcher. Could be worth millions.
Oh, I'd be truly grateful, sir.
I want you to have it. No, I don't. Oh, good gracious. Sorry, this is very hard for me. I'll try again. Okay. No, I failed myself.
It's the gift that's almost too good to give. Spread cheer with holiday scratchers from the Georgia Lottery.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood, home of Atlanta's original rib tips.
Welcome back. And don't forget to go to the Play to Win website and enter the Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $150 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. Dog Report is brought to you by This Is It Barbecue. Nikki's back with us again. Welcome.
Well, I'm about to leave and go get some barbecue.
That'd make you want some barbecue. It makes me want some too. We're going to talk about UGA and Oklahoma to begin with, Chuck Smith.
Well, I think it's a great matchup, especially for Georgia, because they're in the dance. You know what I'm saying? To have a chance to win a national title, you got to be in the dance. So playing against Oklahoma, I'm going to tell you right now, Baker Mayfield, he's the real deal. I love the way Oklahoma designs their offense, but I also love the way Mel Tucker sets up his defense for Georgia. This is going to be a great game, Bob, and I'm excited to watch this game.
I think the interesting part about this, for me anyway, it always is with the SEC and the Big 12 involved.
Yep.
Which conference is better? Do they play differently? Is it the same? I like the contrast between the two.
Definitely a lot of contrast, and it's a big contrast at quarterback in what you comparing this side of the playoff bracket to the other side, and what you have is the best quarterbacks in college football right now. Yes, Jake Fromm is the best quarterback on that list next to Baker Mayfield. Those two guys are going to go head-to-head, battle royal. Two good quarterbacks that can throw the ball downfield that will utilize the full weaponry of that offense, run, pass, more pass for Mayfield. And don't forget, Orlando Brown, Peachtree Ridge, Orlando Brown, left tackle for
Here
OU.
we go.
That guy.
I know that guy. Bob Whitfield did not say Jake Fromm was the second best quarterback in the nation to Baker Mayfield.
I just said it. He's in the playoffs.
I love me some Bob, but man, what you been smoking?
He's in the playoffs.
What you doing, man?
Yo, when you are throwing the ball down the field, those deep out routes, he's in the playoffs. I can put my glasses back on to see this.
Anyway.
Jake Fromm got UJ where they had to be, throwing deep routes down the field.
He's done his job. But I'm going to tell you this, the running game, look.
He has the AEE right now.
The AEE.
Ability, efficiency, and effectiveness.
Put it all on a T-shirt.
Jake Fromm for AEE.
Well, you know what he got? Matter of fact, he got the ST, supporting teammates like Nick Chubb.
Yes.
They're the ones who help. Again, he's a baller, but you got to give some credit also to the running game, the offensive line. He did good against Auburn. I can't be mad. He threw some great passes, though.
Nikki, let's talk about Kirby Smart.
Yeah, let's talk about where to give credit where credit's due when it comes to UGA. Kirby Smart in his second season has the Bulldogs one game away from their first national title game since 1982. And let's talk about how rich he is now that he's been named the AP poll SEC head coach of the year. So he beats Auburn in the SEC championship, gets $400,000. Gets selected for the college football playoff. That's $500,000.
Like that.
Coach of the year, $500,000. Do the math, $950,000. Kirby Smart ain't dumb, and he's also rich. And he's, I think, fair. Fair, right?
Kirby rich.
Kirby rich.
He is rich. But you know what he also done? He did a good job coming in and changing the culture. But let me tell you something now. Mark Richt didn't really leave the cabinets bare. I mean, the pantry wasn't empty,
right.
so
True.
Kirby got a lot of the guys to come back, right? He got the seniors to come back, like Lorenzo Carter and some of the other guys, and he put his stamp on it. Give him a lot of credit. Give the whole university, all of them credit, really, because they've been getting after this year, the whole staff, all of them.
Pantry wasn't empty, but Kirby Smart went down there and started late night snacking on it.
You're staying with the same thing.
Some of that cheesy poops.
Cheesy. We're
Where's
staying
the
with the
crackers
food theme.
at with the cheese?
Let's talk Roquan
You just
Smith.
call me a cracker.
We're staying with the food.
Y'all, don't edit the
get
tape.
there.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. That's right. Roquan Smith, Butkus Award winner, first team All SEC.
Yeah, I love Roquan Smith, and he deserves it. You know, really, you need to calm down. But look, let me talk about someone who hadn't been calm. Roquan Smith, he plays with great effort. The one thing you look at great players is giving maximum effort. I love how Roquan plays, but you know what? He's tough. He made the big plays when he had to, and I'm really excited about his prospects for going to the National Football League. He's a great college player, but he's the kind of guy that wins big in the National Football League.
All right, let's see what 680 has to think about it. We're going to join in with Matt Chernoff.
All right, thanks, Bob. Yeah, as Georgia gets ready for Oklahoma, I think they have an absolutely great shot here to give themselves a chance to win a national championship. If Georgia, which is going to have a home field advantage, think about that in Pasadena with the news of all the Georgia fans heading west. If they can do anything, and I mean anything, to slow down Baker Mayfield, they're going to have a chance to win this game and head to a national championship game. For Georgia, I think they have the perfect elixir for facing a big-time offense. They run the ball well. They play defense themselves. They can play keep away from Baker Mayfield, which is going to limit his possessions, thus frustrating him. So Georgia's got a great chance to beat Oklahoma out in Pasadena. And what a reward to play a national championship game in your backyard at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It could be the student against the teacher, a Saban and Alabama win, or it could be Clemson trying for back-to-back championships. But I think the door has swung wide open. Georgia's got a great chance to win a title. There is not a great team among these four. They all have their flaws. Georgia has their own. If they can overcome them, I think you're talking about Kirby Smart with a chance to win a national championship in Athens. Bob, back to you.
All right, I love it when Matt Chernoff says, Bob, back to you.
So composed.
One of the first things I told him when we
glasses.
met, I says, all you remember to say is, now back to you, Bob. Good point, Bob.
Right.
And we're good together. So we've been
good.
friends ever since. All right, now it is time to take a break. We'll come back in a moment and talk about SEC, ACC on football's play to win.
Look what God has done. Thank you. Because of your support, we've grown to locations all over Atlanta. This is the time of year where we all take time to give thanks and to celebrate with family and friends. May God richly bless you and your family is our prayer. Thank you and happy holidays! See you soon!
People of all ages suffer from orthopedic conditions that limit daily activities. If you're not getting significant relief from other options or you've considered surgery, LipoGems might be right for you. The LipoGems procedure is a cutting-edge award-winning technology that helps your body heal itself the natural way by using your own powerful fat. This simple and minimally invasive procedure might be the answer you're looking for. For more information or to find a participating physician, visit understandlipogems.com.
You never know when the moment will strike, and when it does, you want to be ready. Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails can help you enjoy a more satisfying eating experience. Mellow Mushroom is safe for daily use. If you find yourself sitting in a Mellow Mushroom for more than 4 hours, you may want to go home and come back another day. Mellow Mushroom is not for everyone. Just kidding, it is. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. He may want to come with you.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
It's time for the SEC ACC report, brought to you by the Greater Atlanta Nissan dealers. Innovation that excites. And we are going to start with Clemson and Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, Bob Whitfield.
Well, you know, I'm going to be sweet right here, because this is the two worst quarterbacks going to play for the playoffs.
Yeah.
The two, Kelly Bryant and the kid from the Lion King kid from Alabama.
You're snorting beignets.
No.
You're making that up.
These two quarterbacks are the one that just run the ball first before they look downfield, 2 to 3 receivers down, like you'll see with Mayfield, you'll see with Fromm. These are the two quarterbacks that use their legs more, Alabama's and Clemson, Kelly Bryant. So what happens is they do depend on a great running attack so that quarterback can run option screens, read options, and get free. And two worst quarterbacks in the playoffs right here.
Giving you the side eye.
We're all giving you the
side eye.
Let me give it that too. Okay. Side eye.
Look, number one, Kelly Bryant, he's been real efficient throwing the ball, Bob. When you look at the ACC championship versus
18
Miami.
times a game.
Again, that's okay. That's okay, but you want to be about efficiency.
15.
Right? But if you go 14 for 18, you're doing good. So now Jalen Hurts, that's a different animal. I love when he runs the ball. When Alabama's offense is rolling, he's a part of it. So I want to see that inside-outside zone from Alabama.
Quit side-eyeing me.
Huh?
You side-eyeing me, buddy. The two worst quarterbacks in the playoffs.
All right, I want to get your thoughts on the Ohio State USC being in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, I think it's just right. I mean, I think Ohio State, I don't care if they win the conference or not, they're not better than Bama. So it is what it is now.
Tell them how it is.
I mean, I know they thought they were going to be coming to Atlanta possibly, but didn't work out that way. But I know they're a little salty right now up in Ohio.
And Sam Darnold, he's behind Jake Fromm.
The Pac-12 is even weaker, so I'm being.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I'm just being real with you. The Pac-12, Bob, USC is just an average team. Washington is just an average team, and I'm a big Washington Husky fan.
And what is Tennessee?
At the bottom. We're at the bottom.
Carry on, Bob.
I knew he'd bring in the Tennessee.
Stop it.
Let's talk about Big Ten, Pac-12 being out. You mentioned the Pac-12. How would the SEC feel about that?
We already got a taste of what that would feel like as SEC fans. I mean, think about the beginning of this season and how our conversations were formed around the SEC no longer being a premier. It was all about Alabama. We all said that the SEC would not be anything without Alabama, and we said that at the beginning of the season. And now, oh, how the tables have turned. Alabama just barely squeaking in, and now the SEC is back on top. So we knew what that was going to be like as SEC fans to slip, and look at how it just went.
All right, how about Auburn and UCF in the Peach Bowl?
Well, you know, that's part of the story right there. Just think about Auburn. You go from national championship. I love me some Peach Bowl, but that ain't where they wanted to be. So if you're Auburn, to me, they're probably right now the most disappointed team.
Yeah.
And, I mean, right now in all the bowl games, because you literally the hottest team in America. You come to the SEC championship, everybody thinks you're going to win. Then you lose to a team that you mashed. And then you have to go to a bowl that you know you really didn't want to go to. So I feel sorry for the Auburn Tigers, but, you know, you got to win the big games.
For Auburn?
All right, coaches are moving around, son. Where are the new coaches?
It's the coaching carousel.
It is.
And you know what's interesting about the coaching carousel is head coaches don't just grow on trees. But, you know, depending on whatever conference you're in, they just run you out of town if you can't bring home a championship within a couple of seasons. Scott Frost over at Nebraska, Chuck said he's definitely going to regret that. Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M, Willie Taggart, Florida State, Jeremy Pruitt, Tennessee.
Yeah. There we go.
Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
UCLA.
Bring him to the hill. Bring Jeremy Pruitt to the hill. That's a Tennessee thing.
That's a Tennessee
Bring
thing.
anybody to the
We
hill.
had to get somebody. It took forever.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
Always look forward to the Army-Navy game. The uniforms this year are a little bit different.
Well, they're always a little bit different, Bob. That's part of the tradition of Army-Navy. They always unveil really cool uniforms that have nice backstories. Navy last week unveiling their Blue Angels uniform. It's got a really cool retro feel to it. And then Army coming out this week with their really clean, all-white looking uniform, which is honoring the 10th Mountain Division in World War II. Their cleats have pandas skiing on them. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we do know it's Nike, and Nike's co-founder actually helped supply the 10th Mountain Division back in World War II, so it was a nice tie-in. And you know, even if you are not into watching the Army-Navy game for the actual football of it, it's still very cool to watch it for the theatrics and the tradition and those awesome uniforms. And why are you laughing at me over there?
Just because
Bob.
Chuck. Chuck knows
I can't do it.
Just because of the
Chuck
way you
knows
three
as
are.
a watch. You said that for Chuck.
I can see you from the sparkle in my collar.
He threw me under the bus.
Bob Woodfield, you've got Jeffrey's picks.
Yeah, I don't watch the Army-Navy game either. But it's the 118th unity of the Army Black Knights and the Navy Midshipmen. And what we have is Navy +3. They're going to bring back Roger Staubach, I believe he went to Navy.
Yes, that's
Maybe
right.
There it is.
Good
See, I
point.
got one Navy trivia thing going on right there.
Okay, way to go. Way to stay in touch with that. Okay, so those are the picks. For Bob Whitfield, you did a good job. For Jeffrey, Jeffrey will appreciate that. We'll be back with Dr. Elamine in just a moment as you stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
Really? Yeah. You want to go play catch?
This Christmas, For All for Less means more.
Automatic emergency braking.
It stopped for you.
Standard on Nissan's most popular models. Hurry, the 2017s are almost gone. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models. See Star Wars The Last Jedi in theaters December 15th.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn-out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Loop Monday through Thursday, mention Football's Play to Win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
Giving season is in full swing. Make every moment count. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Merry Christmas to all, and for all, a good price.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
It's time to take a look inside injuries, and today with Dr. Elamine and Taryn Ashley, we're going to be talking about concussions.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes, so I am so excited. Taryn Ashley here. I am sitting here with the amazing Dr. Elamine, and I am so happy to let you guys know that over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be talking behind the scenes on Play to Win. We're going to be talking concussions. We're going to be diving deep, so stay tuned. So I have a question for you, Dr. Elamine.
Sure.
So we've been talking a lot about and hearing a lot about concussions and how they affect the players and the athletes. Can you kind of dive into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, one of the things that we're doing here in Atlanta, which is really exciting, is we're having a lot of players actually come to Atlanta to get tested. Some of the things that we're doing is we're getting an MRI of the brain to see if it's damaged. And if it is damaged, then we're taking them through a protocol where we're actually mapping the brain and we're determining whether or not there's an injury and does it have a certain behavior pattern associated with it.
What about mapping the brain? What do you mean by that? You look at it? I mean, can you see a picture of it? What do you do?
That's a great question. It's almost similar to you can do what they call an EEG. It's almost similar to what they call an EKG of the heart. And what that does is that gives a wave pattern of the brain. And as we know, when you actually have an injury, that pattern can be different. And we can actually see that.
Got it.
And, so it's really exciting because now we put things in place to help a lot of athletes to determine why they have anger issues, why things are going on, typically how we can get them better for the game and prepare.
And that's a good question, because what I kind of wanted to ask too is, as far as when a player gets a concussion, kind of what would you say is the recovery time for something like that?
And we don't know that until we can actually get the right studies to look at that and determine what we need to do to follow up on. But we do know, a lot of these guys are on the concussion protocol.
Okay, that's concussions, our story today. It's becoming a very large issue in the league. You'd think with the equipment and all of that, it would be less, but it seems to be the same or even more in some cases. And of course, you're dealing with a lot of speed and a lot of concussions, a lot of collisions out there on the football field. We'll be back with more on Football's Play to Win. Stay with us.
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678 Law Firm.
This is it.
Make your holiday easy and delicious with This Is It Barbecue and Seafood. Place your online order today from our special holiday menu featuring delicious smoked or fried turkey, smoked spiral cut ham, sides like cornbread dressing, collard greens, and baked mac and cheese, desserts like sweet potato pie, assorted cakes, and strawberry shortcake. And add our delicious fresh brewed drinks to complete your order. The discounted holiday packages are the best. Go online to thisisitbbq.com to see the full menu and to place your online order.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678 Law Firm.
Get a steak. Don't stop there. Get it with lobster. Get a steak topped with crab cake. Eat like you own the place, because tonight you do. Get it now. Longhorn's Turf and Surf, the new filet and citrus grilled lobster tail, the new crab cake filet, or Flo's filet and lobster tail. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Today's lightning round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring great American steak dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Jeffrey not with us this week, but it's still time for the lightning round, and playing the role of Jeffrey once again is Bob Whitfield. You're doing a great job, by the way.
I'm doing a great job here. Well, we have in the
Yes, you are. Pat yourself on the back.
NY. Bye-bye, Ben McAdoo. Hello, Eli. He is back on top, but Jeffrey has Dallas winning with the, give him 4 points or something. And then we have New York Jets at Denver. They're -1. New York Jets, Todd Bowles, Chuck's friend, right? You know
Casey
coach.
Rogers,
yes,
the coordinator.
You know them guys.
Yeah, I know them.
They're going to be confident right there against Denver. Your guy, Von Miller, has to keep getting sacks, but they are really down. So what do you see there? Is that correct?
Worst run defense in the game. You're right. Look for the Jets to run all over Denver.
And Philly, you know what I think about the Rams?
What?
Jeffrey got it wrong. LA Rams is taking it to the Super Bowl. West Side is back. Look for the Rams to win that. I'm sorry, Jeff. He put 2.5 with Philly. Take the Rams.
I like Philly with the points, and I also love cheesesteaks from Geno's. I don't go to Pat's, I go to Geno's. The king of steaks.
I've had cheese steaks from Geno's.
Geno's the bomb.
They're the best.
Pass me
they're
the
the best.
cheese crackers.
They're as good as cheese. You've had cheese crackers?
I didn't say it.
Yeah, that's
Call me cheesy.
We're not going there with the crackers again. All right, that's our NFL lightning round, and I thought it was quite entertaining this week. A little out of control, but then that's good. That's television for you. All right, that's it for the show. For Football's Play to Win, hopefully we'll get our contracts renewed. We're on week-to-week contracts here, and we'll be back with you for next week's Football's Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, Nissan, and the Orlando Law Firm.